Welcome to MTV Glow, where bright conversations always flow. This is MTV Glow, people you should know. Welcome to MTV Glow, where you discover the people you should know. In this podcast, we shine a light on the brilliant professionals in our provisors community. I'm your host, Rav Mandirata, a fellow provisors member and an expert in AI, SEO, and lead generation. I believe strong referrals start with real conversations. And that's exactly what we are here for. In every episode, you'll get a quick, engaging peek into the people behind the titles, how they work, who they serve, and what makes them stand out. From playful intros and ideal referrals to AI insights and marketing tips. This is your fast track to knowing, liking, and trusting the voices in our network. So let's dive in and discover what makes today's guest glow. Today's expert is Jonna Mooney, an HR professional with more than 35 years of experience helping organizations and entrepreneurs navigate the human side of business. Jonna co-founded Affogato HR Consulting in 2018, and her passion lies in advising entrepreneurs and tackling complex HR challenges, and above all, building Affogato into a place where top HR advisors can thrive while maintaining balance in their own lives. Beyond her consulting work, she serves in leadership with the 100 Women Charitable Foundation, showing her commitment to community as much as to business. A UCLA philosophy grad, Jonna enjoys family, food, wine, books, and travel, which sounds like the perfect HR life balance to me. Welcome, Jonna. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks, Rob.
So to kick it off, HR can mean a lot of things. So how would you explain what you do to a 10-year-old?
That is such a good question. And I have been thinking about this for weeks because I think 10-year-olds have that ability to really simplify. So I think what I would say to a 10-year-old is that businesses need people. So I help the bosses understand and follow the rules so that they can have people work for them. I think that's how I'd explain it.
That's interesting. Yeah, and I think my 10-year-old would understand that. So
Yeah.
because she might relate it to the way I make her work.
That's great feedback because I think it's about sort of the whole process of working and being employed. And I said businesses, but I think it's bigger than that. And so a curious 10-year-old, we could get into a great conversation about what's a business and what's a nonprofit and what's volunteer work. But I landed on the word business, hoping for some more questions.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, on those lines, every profession has its myths, right? What's one misconception people often have about your line of work, and what's the reality?
Yeah, that's another great one. And there are so many myths, but I really do think the biggest is that HR is the for people who like people, or you're a people person. And it's not that that's not true, but it's insufficient by far, both for the professional. If you're only getting into it because you like people, there's a lot you need to know and understand how to do that is missing. But also for executives, managers, leaders who hire someone for their HR position because they think, I just need someone who likes people. That's just not going to cut it in the long run.
I hear you. I think if you like people and you end up making friends, then it's hard to get work done from
Right,
and take hard decisions. So
right. You can be friendly.
Yeah.
can be very friendly, but understanding that you're there for the business. Uh, all of us are there for the business
Right.
is a challenge.
Yeah. Cool. On those lines, what's your challenge in your industry, and what are you passionate about solving, and how does it connect with what matters to your clients?
Yeah. I'm really passionate about companies owning their culture and being committed to what kind of place they want to be. But the nuance in there is I get concerned when I hear people say things like, I don't trust HR, or, HR is separate from the rest of my business. And that's where I get a little um, worked up because HR is part of the business. So when someone says, I don't trust HR, they don't trust the whole business. And so you've got a management problem that has to be fixed. And sometimes I think sometimes it's because people don't understand what HR is. We're not your confessor. Uh, Things that people say to HR uh, can't necessarily be kept completely confidential. There's a whole bunch of stuff that goes around that, but it really, for me, does come down to if they don't trust HR, they don't trust the whole business.
That's very profound, and I never thought about it from that lens. So thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
And the next question I have for you is, uh, hopefully this technology will help people understand the connection between HR and the business. So I'm talking about AI, right? And it is touching every field. What's one change you've already seen in your business with AI, and one you think might be coming next?
Yeah. I think one big change is AI does help people do a better job. I really believe that. Um, I have seen people use AI for research, and that can be good and bad because if you ask the wrong question, you get the right answer, but you ask the wrong question. But I've also seen that by using AI, they can look at something from a different perspective. They can present themselves and their positions much more often more clearly because they're getting different sides of an argument, and our AI helps to distill this in a way. So those are some of the really positive changes that I'm seeing. I don't feel like I'm as afraid of AI as some people might be.
That's
I,
very encouraging, and I like how you put it in terms of how AI is helping people distill both sides of the conversation. I didn't think of that, so that's very interesting.
hopefully that's what it is. I mean, I think AI can be great because I would love to work less. I would love to have to sit at my desk less. And if AI can enable that so that I can lead a more fulfilling life and so can everybody else, wouldn't that be great?
That would be truly awesome. The
Yeah.
the interesting thing is that mm, as AI frees up the mundane activities we have to do, uh, we get to spend more time on more strategic things, more things which require a lot more thinking, right? And that's more cognitive load. So we definitely need the more of break time, and so that we can get a reboot. So I totally
Hmm.
agree with that,
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's a big reboot.
right? Now, coming to our awesome providers community, for our fellow providers members who are listening, how can we best support you, and what does a great referral mm, for you mean, or what does it look like for you?
I think a great referral is someone who really knows their business and cares about their employees or their future employees, and cares about balancing. It's balancing people and business. It's balancing risk and regulation. There's a whole lot of trading off. So the kind of prospect who says, I never ever want to get in any legal trouble. I'm not a lawyer, but I never want to get in any people trouble. That's unrealistic. So someone who has a realistic perspective on how it is we work with people within this broad set of rules and guidelines, and creating that culture. And I think the other part is these business leaders, owners, executives know that they are the ones who have to make the tough decisions, and they have to have some of those tough conversations. That's their job. That's their responsibility. So once in a while, we'll run into a prospect or get an introduction where, oh, this is going to be hard. Can they just hand this hard problem over to you and you make it go away? And sometimes I wish I could, but we can't. So
They need a genie in a bottle.
exactly. That's exactly it. And we're not the genie and we don't have a magic wand. And one of my favorite phrases, if I ruled the world, I would, but I don't rule the world. So they have to be involved.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. Let's talk about things outside of work. You've shared with us about the 100 Women Charitable Foundation, but what's something you're proud of, a story that shows us a different side of you?
One of the things I've been able to do with the 100 Women Charitable Foundation that I haven't been as good at in my own business is setting a big, hairy goal and motivating a lot of people towards it. The 100 Women Charitable Foundation decided 2 years ago that we wanted to increase our grants by a third. So we, instead of granting $150,000 a year, we wanted to grant $200,000 a year. And sitting around a table, half the people kind of thought, oh, that's a big, scary thing. We can't do it. And the other half said, let's try. We gave ourselves 5 years. In the 2 years since then, we've granted up to $180,000 a year. So we're making really great progress. And so I'm very proud of my ability to get a group to set a goal, even though they had doubts, and then show them that they can move along
That's awesome.
towards that goal.
Congratulations on that. That's really great.
Thank you.
Cool. So to wrap up, what would be one tip you would give fellow providers members on how they could maximize their provider's experience?
I think Provisors is like a superpower if you know how to use it. And I think the superpower is all these resources for our clients. I mean, I love it when first, my favorite thing in the world is when a client calls me first and says, I don't know where to go, so I'm calling you. And I can say, gee, this sounds like an SEO problem. And I know the right person. And any kind of situation, and direct them to 3 right people. And it makes us look good. It makes the referral look good. And it helps our clients feel like they're well taken care of and heard.
Absolutely. So look at your network as a network of experts who can help your clients. That's awesome.
Absolutely. And you just never know what kind of question a client is, or a friend is going to come up with. So we've got all of us who can help with all kinds of things.
This has been a great conversation, Jonna. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I look forward to continue learning from you and referring you to my clients.
Thank you very much, Rob. It's been great.